Antonio Tajani, the President of the European Parliament, made the remarks as the Brexit Secretary and his negotiating team arrived in Brussels for the latest round of talks. Mr. Tajani said, "The EU will not step back 1 millimetre from its position in defence of the rights of European citizens. First of all, we will have to agree on the three crucial points, namely the rights of citizens, the divorce bill and the border with Ireland, then we will talk about the rest," he stressed. Mr. Tajani also joined Jean-Claude Juncker in attacking the papers outlining Britain's Brexit position, branding them unsatisfactory. Yesterday, European Commission President Mr. Juncker blasted Britain's Brexit outline and dashed hopes of concurrent talks about the divorce bill and the future EU-UK relationship, claiming there was no chance of trade talks beginning before the financial settlement is agreed. He said, "I did read, with the requisite attention, all the papers produced by Her Majesty's government and none of those is actually satisfactory. So there is still an enormous amount of issues which remain to be settled. We need to be crystal clear that we will commence no negotiations on the new relationship, particularly a new economic and trade relationship, between the UK and the EU before all these questions are resolved." Yesterday, Theresa May backed Mr. Davis' calls for more imagination and flexibility from Brussels and urged the EU to begin talking about its future relationship with the UK by October. Mrs. May's spokeswoman told reporters, "We believe we're in a good position and we would like to move on to discuss our future relationship. As David Davis has said, we believe that we need the EU to show some more imagination and flexibility when it comes to these discussions. We are seeking to agree by October Council that we can move to talk about our future relationship. The talks this week are technical, before we move on to more substantive talks in September." Mrs. May arrived in Kyoto this morning for talks on how the UK looks to cement its position as Japan's strongest security partner in Europe after Brexit, just 36 hours after North Korea's latest missile launch flew over the northern Japanese island of Hokkaido. Mrs. May said, "As our closest security partner in Asia, we will also discuss how we can work much more closely together on cybersecurity, counterterrorism and defense, more important than ever in this uncertain world." The Prime Minister is accompanied on her trip to Japan by Trade Secretary Liam Fox, as well as 15 business leaders who are hopeful of developing closer ties with their Japanese counterparts. The visit is set to include an audience with the Emperor of Japan, a banquet with business leaders, a ride on the bullet train between Kyoto and Tokyo, as well as a bilateral summit and private dinner with Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. It also provides Mrs. May with a good opportunity to explore bilateral trade opportunities for Britain's post-Brexit future, especially given that a free trade agreement between the EU and Japan is currently being negotiated. Additional reporting by Maria Ortega.